Welcome to Bamble, a podcast about, let's be honest, it's about movies and games and sometimes talk about vampires. My name's Taz.
I'm Kirsten and ghosts.
And ghosts.
Lots of ghosts.
And
demons.
Zombies on occasion.
Alright, okay, fair enough. Look, it is pretty paranormal, but we do, yeah. I actually mentioned that in my Instagram post today.
Mm-hmm.
I just went, I'm going to wear a little skull pin and hopefully that'll keep us on topic.
On theme.
Yeah. So if you look at it and I'll look at it and then we can stay on theme.
I have to stare at the pin.
Yep.
If you have questions or supernatural theories or weird shower thought questiony things, send them into krambamblepodcast@gmail.com. If you are listening to this on iTunes, we've had a recent bump. Please give us a review. It helps us bump up in the rankings and maybe some other people around the world will find this podcast too. We can also be followed on Spotify and on Podbean. We have a Twitter. We have an Instagram. I think that covers it.
Yep.
There you go. That's knocked out of the way. So I'm playing a game at the moment called No Man's Sky, and I bounce between space stations where I sell different things. And this got me onto the thought of, if we finally start interacting with an alien species, what resource does Earth have that we would sell to make money in the universe? Because we were talking about equity last night.
Right. Well, just on the topic of getting a bump in our listeners, I had a whole thing about Virginia. So we can come back to that.
Yes, we'll
that
come back
was
to
where
Virginia.
Most of our...
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. We had a huge bump in just people from Virginia.
Mm.
So I wanted to talk about Virginia for a bit as a big thank you.
Okay, now that we've completely sidetracked my question to be ignored, let's talk about Virginia.
No, it's all right.
No, it's too late now.
You'd already mentioned the
No,
bump,
you've
and then I was
ruined
like, oh, it's already, and then you're all like...
goodness.
Something about a video game
This
again?
is what I gotta work with, guys.
A video game?
Can you
Let's talk about a video game? Is that what we're doing?
Just put yourself in my shoes, guys. Like, this is what I gotta work with. Constantly derailing my awesome questions.
Tenuous segue so you could talk about games you play.
No, it wasn't a tenuous segue. It was just a reason why I was thinking about it. What resource would humanity have, and Earth, I presume, until we start terraforming other planets, would we have to then get into the galactic market?
You were mentioning sugar.
As a random thing, yeah.
But I mean, there's no way to tell what they would need or want. They could be silicon-based life forms and have no need for anything we've got.
That's true.
Or they were desperate for our sand.
Yes.
I mean, could be. Maybe that's what they eat or breathe, you know?
True.
Who knows?
Carbon
there is no
monoxide.
possible way to...
We've got a butt ton of that. Just filter it and send it
can
off.
I just... Nope.
Dramatic pause. I'll have to edit that out.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Can
I just...
What's the word I'm looking for?
Interruption?
All right, never mind then.
What was it?
Well, people always... Actually, Joe Rogan mentioned it, and it really annoyed me. He was like, isn't it crazy how we take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide? That's crazy that we can convert it so perfectly. We're like little carbon dioxide machines pumping it out. But if that were the case, and I think it's a huge misconception that that's how it works, we wouldn't be able to perform CPR. Yeah. So we're actually breathing out a lot of oxygen as well.
Yeah, apparently we only take a very small amount of oxygen out of the air that we're breathing.
Yeah. I don't know. I really wanted to put that out there to be like, guys, CPR wouldn't work if we breathed out nothing but carbon dioxide.
I think that plays into why you can hold your breath for a while, because you're still kind of pulling that oxygen out of your lung capacity.
Yeah. And why, suffocating takes a while.
Yes.
Not like in the movies where you're like, oh, there's a bag on my head. Oh, no, I'm dead. It would be quite some time.
Yeah, imagine the original horror movie or whatever, action movie where someone was suffocated and they had like a real military person who's kind of like doing what's the word I'm looking for? Consultation.
Yep.
And so they've got a 5-minute choking scene, and then the editing guy on the scrap floor's like, I'm going to cut that down to 15 seconds. And that became the norm.
And yeah, it's so part of people's psyche. They're like, you could choke in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, no, it takes a really long time.
How many failed attempted murders because somebody watched only movies and TV shows and thought that's how long it took? And then someone faked it and they just left him there like...
Or not even faked it, because you do pass out.
True.
So they're like, oh yeah, he's dead, and all he's done is pass out.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger chokes out so many people with his massive biceps.
Yeah.
And then does it 15 seconds. He's like, he's unconscious. I don't think he's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Unless Arnie's this massive serial killer and we didn't know.
I reckon we could sell Arnie to some aliens. He's a pretty big specimen.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was such a weird jump.
Yeah.
Even my brain was like, I'm fine with jumping on different tracks and rails.
It's kind of the same. We were talking about resources we could sell. We could probably sell carbon dioxide. We got a chunk of it.
There is no possible way to tell. I don't even want to entertain this, I'm afraid, because, I mean, like I said, it could be toenail clippings. Who knows?
That would be scary, though. If we could sell toenail clippings, what would stop them from just farming us? Dun, dun, dun. It has to be something that we don't produce.
So funny if it was like they were nice.
Yeah.
So all those women getting pedicures, you go to an intergalactic pedicure spa.
Oh, and they just collect it all?
Yeah, they just collect all your clippings.
Ah, they'd still charge us, though.
Win-win-win.
Scumbags.
Yeah, exactly. So it's double win for them. They're getting paid for their own resources. Boom.
True.
They don't have to pay anything. And it's win-win for us because we get all like, oh, they do a full spa because it's obviously something in... Oh, come on, what enzyme is in hair and nails?
I don't know.
Why don't you know this?
Because I'm not a doctor.
Oh,
I'm just a podcaster.
Come on, it's on the tip of my brain, but I mean, when I say tip,
Yes.
I mean like buried under a mountain of clothes.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's there, but I don't want to have to shift the clothes. So there's an enzyme in hair and nails that we all know.
It's the clothes chair, and you know that your wallet's underneath it, and you're like, I don't feel like going out for food now. And then you just lay back down in your bed. There's probably a lot of people in that situation right now.
Yes, that's why I used it as an analogy for the thing that's on the tip
It was
of my
a good
brain.
analogy that I stood
really
on top
want to
of.
look forward.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
I'm going to call this episode The Domestic.
Oh, I've lost my train of thought now. What was I on about?
Toenail clippings.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. You get like a full spa because it's hair and nails. So you can get like a full wax, pedicure, manicure, haircut.
I don't know. I think that's just...
But then there's like an evil one who's like, oh, if we just keep them here and feed them like...
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'd always be worried that, like, why don't we just cut out the manicure process and we'll just, you know...
But it doesn't make sense. If you think of it in like a parasitic way, killing us, they're getting less hair and nails. But like looking after us and making sure...
I mean like farming us like animals, keeping us alive, feeding us the essential proteins and nutrients to make our hair and nails or whatever it is they're farming. Yeah. Just pumping that like we're just in cages, like battery chickens.
Oh, that sounds bad.
The irony.
I liked my idea better with these happy, friendly spa aliens.
Yeah, you've gone for like, I think it'd be okay, whereas my brain's gone full cynical going, they're going to farm
I'm
us.
imagining blue aliens. They're like, oh, honey. While they're filing your nails.
Oh, goodness. That seems like way too much work. I mean, that could be like the holistic farm where they farm all of our toenails.
What they do is they've done market research. They've come down here and gone, who are the most successful nail salons? The ones who talk to their clients, but also don't. So they've got like, they chatter off in their own language as well.
Yeah, the cynic in me is still worried that we're going to get enslaved. I think it's best just to avoid that.
All right. What else could they farm?
From us, I don't want to think about us.
Yeah,
being
no,
farmed.
jeez, that got gross.
No, thanks.
Even like sweat and tears.
Yeah. It'll be some weird resource that we have.
But we're carbon, so whatever thing comes out of our body, it's more abundant in the environment. You know what I mean?
If they can change it and convert it. I mean, maybe we've got one weird process in our bodies that we take for granted, but
like
we're
gut
the only
bacteria.
species that does it.
Have we done this before?
We've done gut bacteria.
Yeah, we have.
Twice.
Oh my god, we're obsessed with gut bacteria.
You're obsessed with gut bacteria.
I am.
You brought it up twice.
Probiotics.
Yeah, okay. Yoplait. It's French for yogurt.
Okay. What has that got to do with any probiotics?
Yogurt helps gut bacteria.
I can't have it. I am lactose intolerant. Kimchi!
I don't know where this episode is right now. Did we mention our socials? Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. All right.
Is there like a carbon monoxide leak down here? Maybe we're just getting real weird.
Question was...
Yes?
Do you think...
Sometimes.
That's awesome.
Just realised my phone is not on silent.
Mine is. I couldn't find the answer to this question because I had one of those shower thoughts and I'm like, oh, I wonder if the internet can help me.
Why didn't you email it to us?
What email? Instead of sitting right next to you and going, hey, Taz, there's this question I have.
But if you email it, we remember it.
Yeah, right. Well, I remember it right now,
okay.
So...
Fair call. Go.
I was thinking, so you know spirits trapped in spirit vessels?
Yes.
If they don't interact with anyone, you know, like a human being in solitary confinement, would they go insane?
Quite possibly. I dare say that's why, like, the really old ones become very dangerous.
And it's not that they're more powerful. They're just mental.
Yes. Although there is the argument that the more insane they are, the stronger they are.
Who argues that?
All of the scientists that do those things.
Scientists that do ghost things.
I look over in the corner and there's a dude in a hood, like, shaking his head at me, like, making the don't talk about it sign.
He's got a big Illuminati pendant on.
I'm like, so what's up with Bigfoot? Ooh.
The scientists that study ghosts.
Yes.
You know that whole group?
Yes.
Those famous ones.
Yes. Spiritus Scientificus.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking about that. And when you Google that exact phrase, you get everything about alcohol because you've used the word spirit and spirit vessel. So all they're like is like, these are bottles for booze. I'm like, that's not a spirit vessel I meant.
Gotcha.
Yes. The internet is not quite caught up with paranormal investigation.
What's the name of that really old text, the Maleficorum? It was like an Italian one. I don't remember the name of it, but apparently it's the official, quote-unquote, doing air quotes here, guide for exorcisms dealing with the supernatural, that kind of thing.
I thought that was like Solomon's blah.
That one's dealing more with the magical application of runes and symbols, etc., etc.
Oh, okay.
The Key of Solomon. Yeah, that's for binding and
No,
that
I
kind of stuff.
don't think it was called the Key of Solomon.
No?
No,
Something else?
not the one that I was looking at. Did I
Oh.
take a picture of it? Yes, I did. The Testament of Solomon
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a few.
is a demonic encyclopedia for serious demonologists.
That's one I didn't know about. Now I need it.
Okay, yeah, even I wanted that. I was like, that'll help me with my ghost cakes.
Heck
Which
yeah.
we
Okay.
don't have to discuss.
No, thank
We're
you.
not discussing
No
it.
ghost cakes.
It's okay.
Goodness
I
gracious.
just thought it would help
These
me with
damn
my
ghost cakes.
My ghost cakes. Yeah, Virginia, super cool facts. Did you know one of their major cryptids is the Bunny Man?
Yes.
Did you know much about the Bunny Man?
I read it to you from the book when you weren't listening and you were on your phone. And Chaz thought it was the funniest thing because he went crazy and like attacked someone and smashed in their window with a hammer.
There are two theories about the Bunny
Okay,
Man.
tell me the theories.
Well, one is that, yeah, he was an escaped mental patient who just, like, put rabbit furs on him.
Makes sense.
And another one was, do you remember there was an episode of... Actually, no, it's not quite that. Anyway, there was an experiment that went wrong and he is half rabbit.
Ooh.
That's the other second theory, which I much prefer.
Yes.
But do you remember that episode of Invader Zim where there was the chicken man?
Yes.
There's just a man stuck in a chicken suit.
Yes.
That's what I'm
Oh.
imagining is this guy, like, went to a Halloween party.
Mm-hmm.
No, Easter. That makes more sense.
Could be
Dressed
both.
as a bunny.
Yes.
And, like, had a major concussion and woke up in the woods. And, he took, like, some crazy hallucinogenic mushrooms or something. And now he's like, I'm a rabbit man.
I like that. What if it is, like you said, a regular dude in a rabbit suit who has been possessed by a ghost or a demon, and so it doesn't understand that he's a dude in a rabbit suit, just as I don't care, and now the flesh of the dude inside the suit is rotting as the demon essentially runs around and terrorizes people.
That works too.
Yes. The demon rabbit man of Virginia.
Oh, I like it. There was another interesting fact, not a cryptid fact, unfortunately, not even paranormal, but interesting nonetheless.
Okay, shoot.
But it's so cool that I think it was worth introducing. The first woman-run bank in the US started in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
Even better, Maggie Lena Walker was a successful African-American businesswoman.
Nice.
Who started a bank in 1903.
But no ghosts or demons involved.
Unfortunately, I mean, maybe.
Well, lucky for them, I guess. Unless they made a deal with the devil in order to get that bank set up. That's a lot of banks these days, I think. I think there's a lot of nefarious stuff going on. Yes.
I mean, perhaps. Look, there could be if we did some deep digging, horrible things happened in those days. It's the era of Jim Crow, so...
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I wonder how many security, what are they called? Safety deposit boxes in banks have occult items in them.
Do you reckon there's a divining rod for it?
Hells yeah.
Because that would be cool.
I need it. I want to find some of this stuff in Melbourne.
Oh, that would be so cool to be able to just walk into an antiques dealer and be like, that, and that.
That one. I want that one.
But if you were an antiques dealer and you knew, like you had a divining rod for
true
spirits.
It'd be the thing you keep in the glass case,
exactly,
I guess.
Exactly, and you're like, that's $4 million. Because there's people like you and I are like, oh, if I had the money, I would definitely buy that.
Oh, I can just imagine you go in, how much is this chair? $75. That's a very small chair. It's very old. How much for this book? 4 unicorn horns. Wait, what? 4 unicorn horns. Why unicorn horns? If you don't know why, you don't deserve it. Yeah.
The mythical animal.
Yes.
Unicorns.
Oh, okay, so it's okay to have, like, an occult item, but once we bring unicorns into it doesn't make sense?
Yeah.
Where's the line, then?
I've just drawn it.
Wow.
Unicorns, baby. There's something like little girls believe in.
Little girls?
Yes.
And older ladies that like to do lots of yoga.
Do they believe in unicorns?
Some of them do.
Oh, I didn't realise you
Yeah.
hung out with so many old yoga ladies.
I didn't say old, I said older.
Older yoga ladies.
Older than little girls. But
Fair
just as
enough.
mentally equipped.
Fair enough. We're straying into
We are
dangerous
straying
territory.
into dangerous territory. I've got my list of people that I insult on the podcast.
Oh.
Yoga people. Wiccans.
I like both of those people. There's a business idea. Wiccan yoga.
Wiccan yoga?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's got to be a few somewhere in New York.
Oh, man, and I'd also incorporate black coffee, and then you could have, like, it's the Black Sabbath, and you do yoga in black,
Oh,
and then have some coffee afterwards.
could be.
And it's not, like, anything to do with the occult, but because you have black coffee and wear black,
Oh,
you can be like, it's the Black Sabbath.
it's a tenuous connection.
That's pretty much my middle name.
I know. We've established that. That's your hacker name. Tenuous connection.
Oh, man, that's my everything name.
That's your everything name. Yeah. That'll be the name of your... I think I've said this already. The name of your autobiography.
Yeah,
Or biography. Maybe we can get Stephen King to write your biography.
That would be the greatest epitaph ever.
Mm.
I would love that.
It would not end well, though.
Oh, I don't mind. Frickin' Stephen King wrote my biography.
You'd
That's
probably
awesome.
be dead if he's writing your biography, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And spoiler alert.
Alloy?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert!
Did Mike die in it?
No.
There we go. I want to be Mike.
Ed died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be Mike. That sounds cool. He's the best character of all of them.
Why?
He's just cool.
What makes him the coolest, though?
Well, that he stayed and was, like, stoic and
Oh, okay.
protected the town.
'Cause he
Whereas the
was-
rest of them are like, whee!
Because he was watching the lighthouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fair.
It's just something about that, like...
Oh, he wasn't, like, don't get me wrong, he was a cool character. I liked what his
And he
character
had a
did.
fairly good life besides that.
Seemed lonely.
He did seem lonely, but he knew he couldn't have wife
Yeah,
and kids, so
poison
it just
town.
wasn't for him.
I wonder if he ever ended up leaving Derry afterwards.
I think he would have. In my mind, he married the attractive librarian lady. Because, you know, he had such a crush on her.
Did he?
And she liked him as well. But he was like, no.
Did
this
I
can never
miss this
happen.
chapter as well?
Oh, God, it was probably a sentence or two. It was such a... But I was like, yay, Mike's got a friend.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
The only
apparently-
other librarian person I can remember is they had the high schooler who was volunteering when Ben went in and he was freaking out and it was talking to him.
Yeah.
I remember that where he got his renewal of his library card. But I think I missed some chapters because I was listening to the audiobook and I think I skipped out some accidentally. Damn it. I missed some good parts, I guess.
I thought I did that, but I don't think I did.
Hmm.
But yes, it was very good. Oh, God, guys, we could talk about this forever. Stephen King's It is... Don't even bother with the films. Just
Oh,
read the book.
I love anything that has great old ones in it. They're my favourite kind of horror monster.
Well, that was actually way worse of a spoiler than mine.
Oh.
Honestly, because, yeah, you don't know that. And
Oh.
I didn't know that for the whole book.
Okay. Well, I'll just put this in the description. Spoilers for It.
Yeah, exactly. Big spoilers for
Sorry,
it.
guys.
But yeah, I
Sorry.
don't know. I did get to... He does it... He's so clever that if someone had told me that it was about a crazy old god spider thing and then they go into the, like, Negaverse and then there's a giant turtle, I'd be like, I'm not reading this. This is like someone's acid trip.
That makes me want to read it more than going, it's a psychotic clown. I'm like, I don't care. That's dumb. But when you go... The whole clown thing kept me from watching the movies in general. I was like, this is stupid.
Actually,
I don't care about a
I
stupid
will
clown.
admit, I was exactly the same. But I like
That was a
Stephen
flip.
King's writing.
You
No,
just
I
went
was the
from-
same about the killer clown.
Oh,
That's
okay.
lame.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, if someone had said to me that... and then to kill it, they had to, like, pass out in the real world and go on, like, a mind-bending, altering
The
trip.
ritual of chud.
Yeah, and then the turtle was dead.
Yes.
Like, what?
Oh no, spoilers.
What?
I'm gonna have to put, definitely have to put a spoiler warning. Awkward.
Yeah,
Turtle,
definitely.
which is dead.
Awkward turtle. He's
Cosmic
dead.
turtle.
Oh, I was sad. You know what? Of all the characters that died,
Yeah.
the cosmic turtle was my biggest one.
He wasn't in it for a lot, though.
Oh, but the way he spoke, he was so cool.
That's true.
He was like a cool, like, hippie guru.
Yes.
I love that. He's my favourite character.
I'm going to have to listen to the audiobook of Pet Sematary by Michael C. Hall.
That sounds good.
Because I listened to the original one, which was great. It was recorded years and years ago, and I think someone who's really good at the accents from that area. Maine, is it? But Michael C. Hall's great and everything.
It does make you want to go to Maine, but I would be constantly on the lookout for, like, weird people and creatures and stuff.
Spoilers for Pet Sematary. I'd be looking several times before I cross a road.
Yeah.
In those neighborhoods. I do not want to get hit by a truck. No, thank you.
No. But, yeah, the actual descriptions of the scenery and things, it just sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
You do want to go there. It just sounds lovely. And the little towns and the communities.
Yeah. I stopped reading. I got hooked into the games. But, yeah, I was... Oh, that's right. I was listening to...
There you go, kids. There's a cautionary tale.
Yes. Just don't start Stephen King if you've got a game you need to play because you'll get drawn away. I was listening to The Stand, and I don't know, there was something about I don't think it wasn't the style of writing because it's always the same, but the story wasn't grabbing me at the time. This was just as we were starting to...
What's The Stand about?
About the super virulent disease that's like ripping through America.
Oh, I saw a hilarious tweet.
Yes, you were telling me about it.
Yeah, where Stephen King wrote, The Stand is nothing like coronavirus. It's totally different. And someone had written underneath, how would you even know if you even read the book?
Yeah, there are some dum-dums out there. Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't grabbing me at the time. I think it's hard for me, especially with games or movies and books and TV shows, if you've got a certain style or genre that you've been exposed to and then you kind of take a tangent. Because The Stand isn't like a traditional horror or thriller in that kind of supernatural sense.
Yeah.
So going from it and Pet Sematary, which have very like horror supernatural themes, to then go, hey, this is like a worst case scenario about like a super virulent disease, it kind of doesn't have the same feel like, oh, I didn't want to continue on this path or change this path.
I know exactly how you feel. You know that second book you got me? So that I had two of them. I think it was The Stranger and then...
The Institute and The Outsider?
Yeah, The Institute.
The Outsider's a TV show, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I said to you it would make the most brilliant TV show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, The Outsider was excellent and I loved it and it was cool and supernatural and so good. But I'm only halfway through The Institute. There is no, supernatural thing.
Gotcha.
A little bit. Like, the kids have powers, but they're so lame, like, I can bend spoons, that kind of thing. So, I don't know, maybe The Institute will make them, like, X-Men or something, I don't know. But so far, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's that genre where you're like, oh, it's not what I wanted.
And it's also, people are bad.
Yes.
So, like, this isn't a spoiler, it happens in, like, the first chapter. Some guys come in and kill this kid's parents. But it's just guys. Yeah. Like, they're not evil at all. They just go in and shoot the parents so that they can take the kid and take him.
Gotcha.
And it's actually really, really sad because the kid is like, I can't wait to get out of this institute to see my parents. And they're dead.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it's even worse because it's like an 11-year-old kid and my son's 11 and I'm just thinking, oh, if Charlie was in this institute, he's like, oh, I've got to get out. I've got to see my mum and dad. And it's like, oh, they're dead.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he gets over that somehow.
Oh, keep reading, you'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's all a bit too real. I want some... That's what I like about Stephen King is I don't have to be scared of it because, hey, a demonic bear doesn't exist.
Doesn't it, though?
Oh, well, I mean, it could. Who knows? I think that was this creepiest thing. He makes innocuous things scary, and I love that, Like a houseplant can kill you in Stephen King land.
It could.
I think there is even a story about that. It was a really good one I read when I was young, and I'm going to completely misremember it, but it was about like a traveling salesman who was actually Satan. Oh, so good.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it was really, really good. One of his short stories.
Sounds like something they'd turn into a TV show if they haven't already, or they'd pop it into one of the TV shows. I do like that they're doing more TV shows with Stephen King stuff now, like the Castle Rock that we watched. That was awesome.
God, Castle Rock was amazing. I'd love to... He just made that, though. That wasn't a book.
Yeah, I think that was purely written for TV. It was in his universe. There were probably a lot of Easter eggs that I wouldn't have gotten.
Yeah, I wish we'd read more Stephen King before we watched it. I bet there were heaps of Easter eggs.
Yeah, I bet there were.
Anechoic Chamber. King. That's cool that made a reference.
The what?
It's called an anechoic chamber, the one that's got no sound.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Mm.
Yes.
Apparently you start hallucinating after half an hour.
So they say, yeah.
You just think, like, don't you just want to try it? I'm dying
Yeah.
to try it just so I'd be like, how? It's just quiet. Why would that... But apparently you can hear your organs, like your blood and everything moving in your body.
I reckon those kinds of chambers, like the sensory deprivation and like the soul bath chamber, like they do in a lot of movies, would be used to, access latent abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get some sort of isolation.
We got
tank.
enough space for one.
Yeah.
All we need, hey, I watched Stranger Things, all we need is one of those giant kiddie pools and like 75 bags of salt, and we can make one. We can just float on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, would you rather a isolation tank, like a floaty isolation tank, or an anechoic chamber?
Floaty isolation tank.
That
For
sounds
sure.
more relaxing, that's true.
Yes. But I feel like the floaty...
Do we have one in Australia? An anechoic?
Probably. Oh,
Because
no,
apparently
I don't
they're really difficult to make, and you can get semi-anechoic.
know. Okay.
So they're close, but
Mm.
apparently it's very, very, very difficult to make them.
I feel like the sensory deprivation chamber where you're floating in it would be better, because then if you create a rift between worlds, you could get pulled down under the water. I feel like that's more thematic and cinematic, look cooler than...
It would
Just
be you could
hearing-
drown.
Yes.
I don't know. I've got a bit of a fear of drowning.
Well,
I know
I think-
it's crazy and irrational.
I think most people do. Most
What?
people do.
She's just got this crazy irrational fear.
Oh, it's a phobia. I got drowning phobia.
And then I find out that I'm the only human being without gills. And they're on your butt.
Dun dun. What?
Because I don't look at people's
Yo,
butts.
Oh.
Otherwise I'd notice.
You are never allowed to create, like, superheroes in a story because you'll make the weirdest things. Butt Gill.
That's why I really enjoyed it. And everyone should watch this because he's amazing, is Midnight Gospel.
I've only
With
watched the
Duncan
first
Trussell.
episode. I need to get onto that.
Watch it. So good. Big fan of Duncan. Duncan, if you're out there and you're listening, I highly doubt you are. We should be friends, definitely. Yay.
Yes, we should all be friends. Sensory deprivation chamber hangouts.
Oh, yeah. That sounds awesome.
It does.
All right. On that note, I think we're done.
I think we're done. Yeah.
I am tapped for ideas.
I should have written something down. I didn't. I was just thinking about the universal trade thing in that game, and I was like, what resource would Earth produce?
True. I will go back and just go, seriously, Virginia, wow. I don't know what happened, how we blew up there. Is
Yeah.
it word of mouth? Let us know. Send us an email at krambamblepodcast@gmail.com and just be like, yep, we're from Virginia and we told a whole bunch of friends. Like, we cannot figure out why so many downloads came
If
from
you are
there.
from Virginia and you have experienced any of the cool cryptids that apparently you guys just have an
Oh yeah, have you
insane
seen the
amount
Bunny
of-
Man?
Yeah, can you guys please send us like a story, even if it's a friend of a friend? We want to hear some of the stories that aren't just the ones you get on the internet. We want some like real stories.
That'd
Yeah.
be great.
Throw us a message or an email or something, And also reviews on iTunes.
And hey, if you're in a different state of America,
Yeah.
territory, or province,
Yeah. Every state's got some cool
we,
stuff.
We will definitely feature you, like we're doing Virginia, who's fantastic. Best ham come from Virginia.
Oh.
Yep, they've got some good ham there. See, this is the research I do for you
okay,
guys.
Gotcha. You
Tobacco
Googled Virginia.
growers.
You Google Virginia. Oh, tell me about Virginia. It's in America. Nice.
There was so much stuff about presidents, though, that I was like,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there was heaps.
I remember
Most presidents' wives come from Virginia. That all stuff like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's kind of
Fun
interesting,
facts.
but I'm also like, politics.
Excellent. All right, well, this has been Kram Bamble. My name's Taz.
And I'm Kirsten.
And we will catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.